Penguin Random House Audio presents A Pure Heart by Rajia Hassib, read for you by Ariana Delawari. O my heart, which I had from my mother, O my heart, which I had upon earth, do not rise up against me as a witness in the presence of the Lord of things. Do not speak against me concerning what I have done. Do not bring up anything against me in the presence of the great God, Lord of the West. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Theban Recension, Chapter 30a. Part 1. The New York Times, August 25, 2016. Suicide bomber kills 9 in Egypt. A suicide bomber detonated an improvised explosive device at a security checkpoint outside of the police headquarters in Cairo, killing 3 police officers and 6 civilians and injuring dozens more. Egypt's police spokesman said the bomber had an arrest record and had gained some fame 2 years ago when an American journalist interviewed him for a series of profiles that appeared in the Times. The bomber is not known to have ties to larger terrorist groups and is believed to have acted alone. The bombing is the latest in a series of attacks that have occurred sporadically since Egypt's 2011 revolution. Previous incidents have mostly targeted military personnel stationed in the Sinai Peninsula, where militant groups loyal to ISIS are present, but attacks on police checkpoints are also common. Militants in Egypt blame the state's security apparatus for the crackdown on extremists. A statement issued by the Ministry of Interior Affairs vowed that tightened security measures are being put into effect. Chapter 1. On her last night in Egypt, Rose waits for her parents to fall asleep and then sneaks into her sister's bedroom. She sifts through the clothes strewn on the back of the chair, examines the contents of each desk drawer, picks through every nook of the armoire, then slides the mattress to the side and goes through the things stored under her sister's bed. Her own childhood bed, still standing in the room she used to share with her sister years ago, is covered with clothes, books, CDs, and papers, and Rose goes through those too. The items on the bed seem to be some of the ones her sister recently used. Gamila was never one for order, and from that pile Rose picks out a pastel-colored scarf, blue and green, with impressionist flowers that remind her of a painting of Monet, and drapes it on top of her head and across her face, inhaling deeply. Her sister's favorite perfume, flowery and fresh. She ties the scarf around her neck and continues with her search. She sets aside 2 t-shirts, a small box of jewelry, and a string of black prayer beads, engraved with the 99 names of Allah, 1 name on each bead. Anything that seems potentially significant, she tosses onto the growing pile of things she intends to steal. She assures herself that she is an archaeologist, not a grave robber. She works as noiselessly as possible, and when the mattress grinds against the bed frame as she tries to lift it back in place, she pauses, mattress poised in the air, and listens. Her parents are former heavy sleepers turned insomniacs, who now resort to sleeping pills to get them through the night, and she hopes the effect of the pills will mask whatever noise she inadvertently makes. Rose, on the other hand, is still jet-lagged 7 nights into her visit to Egypt, her biological clock stubbornly clinging to Eastern Daylight Time. Gently, she lowers the mattress in place and glances at her watch. 1 a.m. in Cairo, 7 p.m. in New York. She can stay up all night. Under the bed, behind the desk, into each of the 6 dresser drawers, Rose looks, combing through papers, setting aside everything that seems potentially important. She takes the cup of fine china with the butterfly motif, the newspaper article featuring the boy with dark, piercing eyes, the turquoise stone on a delicate gold chain, the stack of unopened mail, the notebooks filled with scribbles, all the photos she can find. She goes through the entire room in just over 4 hours. By then, dawn has already broken, and Rose walks up to the window and pushes the wooden shutters open, letting the daylight in. Already people are stirring, walking up and down the narrow street below. Rose leans out, resting her elbows on the sill and letting the warm breeze caress her face, toying with Gamila's scarf, still tied around her neck. The room does not have the best view of Cairo her parents' apartment offers. That view is shared between the living room and dining room, both overlooking the Nile. But Rose still looks out, a bit nostalgically, at the alley below, which seems a lot narrower than she remembers, dustier. Only 5 stories up, she can clearly see the faces of the few people walking down the alley, and she catches the eyes of a young man looking up, watching her as he walks. Reflexively, she takes a step back. Her tank top is stretched tight across her breasts and deeply cut, and Gamila's scarf does nothing to conceal her cleavage. Rose's first instinct is to reprimand herself for forgetting that she is in Egypt, that women here are not supposed to lean out of windows half naked. But then she steps closer to the window and looks out, and when she sees that the man is stopped, still staring up, she flips him off. He walks on. Rose watches his back as he strolls away. For a moment, she is proud of herself, but then fear creeps up on her. What if he noted which floor she was on, which apartment? What if he is so offended he comes back in a day or two, after she is gone, breaks into her parents' apartment in the middle of the night, and kills them? What if she just flipped off a psychopath? She steps away from the window, her heart racing, jet lag notwithstanding. Rose has been awake for over 15 hours, and she knows exhaustion is partly to blame for her irrational fears. But then again, for the 10 days since her sister died, she has had the butterfly effect on her mind, has been obsessed with minor events that lead to major ones. An interview leading to a suicide bombing, for example, or her own marriage leading to her sister's death. She looks at the pile of things she is taking out of her sister's room and all the way to the U.S. with her. Theoretically, the things could help her trace the events backward in time, from the tornado all the way to the butterfly, and the butterfly may prove to be something other than her marriage. She hopes this is true, but suspects it is merely wishful thinking. Even though everyone keeps repeating that Gamila's death is the result of being at the wrong place at the wrong time, a freak accident, similar to standing in the middle of a field, only to be struck dead by a Cessna making an emergency landing. Rose finds that such a coincidence is highly unlikely. The pile of things on the floor is pathetically small, and Rose tries not to think of how she is distilling her sister's 28 years into a heap of possessions. Noiselessly, she carries her suitcase from the guest room where she has been sleeping to Gamila's bedroom and one by one places her sister's things among her own, tucking them in, hiding them from sight. She wakes up disoriented, takes a few seconds to remember where she is, in the guest room, staring at her mother, who has one hand on Rose's forearm. "It's nearly noon, Habibti. You need to get up," Nora whispers. Rose sits up in bed, nods. "I'll make you some breakfast," Nora says, heading out of the room. "No, Mama, wait," Rose croaks. "I'll do it. Your dad and I are sitting on the balcony." "I'll make us all some tea then." Nora stands in the doorway looking at Rose. She has one hand resting on the doorframe, and Rose stares at her mother's delicate wrist. "Are you done packing?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?